Today on the Daily Scoop podcast from the Scoop News Group, the Department of Labor gets access to a pair of OpenAI tools, and multiple top officials behind CISA's Secure by Design program resign. It's Tuesday, April 22nd, 2025. Welcome to the Daily Scoop podcast, where you will hear the latest news and trends facing government leaders. I'm the host of the Daily Scoop podcast, Billy Mitchell. Thanks so much for joining me. Let's dive into the day's top headlines. Employees at the Department of Labor can now access two OpenAI models through the company's partnership with Microsoft Azure, making the agency the latest to integrate generative AI into its workflows. Those two OpenAI models now available to staff at the Department of Labor are GPT-4o and GPT-4o mini, according to documents viewed by FedScoop. The agency's platform for the OpenAI tech suggests that staff use the technology for specific applications, including a language translator, a quote pros and cons analyzer, and a memo writer. A large document analyzer and document comparison tool are also available in the interface. Along with that, the department has published a guide on the appropriate use of AI systems and cautions agency users that their role in properly using the generative AI tools is, quote, crucial. Staff are flagged with a warning before using the tool and are instructed to review outputs for accuracy. Previously, these kinds of generative AI tools had not been approved for Labor Department use, and employees were warned not to enter federal information into the systems, a source within the agency told FedScoop. Federal agencies were initially slow to adopt generative AI tools, and many blocked or forbade using the web platform versions of systems like ChatGPT when they were first rolled out. Slowly, though, federal agencies have begun to investigate uses of generative AI tools for federal applications. NASA, the Department of Homeland Security, and now Labor are just a handful of the agencies that make OpenAI's large language model technology available to their staffs. And just recently, the General Services Administration also released another tool called GSAI that uses models from Anthropic and Meta. In other news, two top officials at the Cybersecurity and Infrastructure Security Agency who worked with the private sector to manufacture secure products and technology are leaving the agency. Bob Lord, Senior Technical Advisor, and Lauren Zabierek, Senior Advisor at CISA, were two of the chief architects behind CISA's Secure by Design initiative, which garnered voluntary commitments from major vendors and manufacturers to build cybersecurity protections into their products at the design stage. On Monday, in separate posts on their personal LinkedIns, Lord and Zabierek both said they're departing the agency, but neither offered a rationale or motivation for the decision, with Lord simply calling it, quote, a difficult decision, and Zabierek saying it was not an easy choice. Lord said he would continue contributing to Secure by Design after a short break, though he didn't clarify how. Both specifically praised the program in their announcement, with Zabierek arguing that it has impacted the way product manufacturers and policymakers approach cybersecurity. For more news at the intersection of the federal government and technology, make sure to visit FedScoop.com. Thanks so much for tuning in to another episode of the Daily Scoop podcast, available on all podcast platforms. If you've already rated the podcast on your platform of choice, thanks so much. High ratings and good reviews of the show help more people to find it. The Daily Scoop podcast is a production of the Scoop News Group in Washington, D.C. Adam Butler and Carlin Fisher help put the show together, and the entire Scoop News Group team contributes. We'll be back tomorrow with more top headlines. Until then, I'm your host, as always, Billy Mitchell. Thanks so much for listening.